Now a story about a man using his life to lift others. Former Wisconsin Governor Marty Schreiber is as busy as ever. He's working on behalf of a disease that affects more than 5 million Americans. And it's a commitment born out of his own personal journey of everlasting love.
Let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you.
Have you ever wondered what true love looks like? Well, here it is.
Let me hear you whisper that you love me true.
Former Governor Marty Schreiber sings to his wife Elaine.
Keep the love light glowing in your heart, so true.
She lives with Alzheimer's. Symptoms began in 2005 when she was in her mid-60s.
I call it death by 1,000 cuts, or cutting your right arm 1 inch at a time.
Theirs is a love story that began when the governor first saw her in high school Latin class. Can you go back to when you first saw Elaine at 14?
She's had a sparkle in her eye and sort of a warmth about her. There was just that kind of feeling that I think this is the right person. And, you know, I mean, the first day of Latin class, she just seemed to be the perfect person.
At 14, you could see that Elaine was the perfect person for you?
Well, that's what I was thinking, you know, now whether or not...
You got started early.
Yeah, and so whether or not she felt the same way, I don't know, because I did have to pursue her.
That gave birth to a marriage, 4 children, and several political races. Schreiber says his wife was an elegant and gracious host as First Lady. Here she is dancing with President Jimmy Carter. What is the most special thing about Elaine?
Her caring. You know, and I can think about her smile and so forth, but it's the caring that brings out everything. The caring about me, whether I would run for mayor, whether I would run for governor, it was always caring about making sure that she could be positive, involved. If I would run for political office, she would be the hardest working campaigner. If I would lose, she'd never let me feel defeated. Always, and so she did so much for me. And to be able to know that I have now the opportunity to give her comfort, it means an awful lot.
Before Elaine's symptoms showed, both agreed they had a blessed life.
When Elaine was well, or just really in the very early stages, we agreed that no matter what happens in the future, that from this moment backwards, our lives have been outstanding. And no matter what happens, the wonderful things in our lives far supersede whatever might be lying ahead.
Today, Governor Schreiber devotes his life to Alzheimer's awareness. He describes the disease by a quote from author Vivian Green. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain.
You dance in the rain by understanding the disease and then rejoicing in the moments that you have when there's a smile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are a great smile. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're wonderful.
And he has.
Yeah.
Schreiber has learned to rejoice in those small moments. His book, My Two Elaines, raises money for Alzheimer's charities. It reminds families of the toll it takes on caregivers.
They say that a caregiver of an Alzheimer's patient has a better chance of dying quicker, becoming sicker sooner, losing their life savings, and also difficulty at work.
And that's why he helped found Elaine's Hope, a care facility for those living with memory loss and Alzheimer's.
I try and have caregivers understand that they have to try and have their loved one live their best life possible, and that may not be in the home with the spouse taking care of them.
Though this is Elaine's home, the two still connect, but in a new way.
I got one. I never got it.
Do you like that one? I was hoping you'd like it. So the colors?
The blues.
Yeah, the blues, yeah.
Schreiber warns you must meet patients from their own vantage point.
As long as I tried to pull her into my world, there was the anxiety and the nervousness and the increased sadness and depression because of what was going on. But once I understood a different person, life is so much easier. A while back, she started to cry. And I said, why are you crying? Well, she said, I'm beginning to love you more than my husband. So I didn't ask her what's wrong with your turkey husband. I didn't do that. But the fact of the matter is, I learned that it is not necessary for her to know my name in order for our hearts to touch. One time, when we were eating here, Elaine asked me how we met. And I said, Elaine, when we were 14, I said, that's when I saw you, and that's when I fell in love with you, and you were beautiful, and I knew that you were the person, and if any boy got within 50 feet of you, I popped him on the head. And she looked at me and she says, you're a BSer.
And as I visit with the Schreibers, I'm reminded that life is often about the simple gestures, quiet moments that can loudly proclaim true love.
Do you know what?
What?
I love you. Do you know what?
What?
You're beautiful. You know what?
What?
You've got a great smile. Yeah, you do. Did it work out okay in the end? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Do you like my singing? Yeah? Let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love with you.
A lot of life lessons there. So touching. Alzheimer's is the 6th leading cause of death in this country.